Hey, it's Dave Wyman from Bob, Dave, and More. Finally got that name down. We'll do a little football 101 from the Seahawks loss to the Baltimore Ravens the other day. A lot of going into the game, I mentioned a guy named Greg Roman, who's the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, and he used to be with the San Francisco 49ers. He's back in the day when they had Frank Gore and Colin Kaepernick, and he's a really creative play caller and play designer. And so what the Seahawks did here, and this was the 4th and 2. There's about a minute 24 left in the third quarter. It's tied 13-13. And the Ravens are 4th and 2 on the 8-yard line. And this is the play where they lined up for a field goal. And Lamar Jackson, their awesome quarterback, went to the sidelines and said, look, let's run it. I think we can make it. We can get a score here. And I'm sure he was just looking for the first down, but ends up getting a touchdown. But what they run here is a really well-designed power play. And what they do is they get an overload. And I'll show you what I mean. Over on this side of the play, and this is something that I've seen really good running teams do, is they basically overwhelm you at the point of attack. They just get so many bodies. So what they end up getting, first of all, they lined up in this big heavy formation. Backside there was a tackle and a tight end, but they brought all 22 within about 10 yards, of each other. They were all bunched up in the middle. But what they did, first of all, they brought this guy. This is a guy named Patrick Ricard, who plays defensive line and fullback for the Ravens. So the first thing they did is motion him, and he almost hit the snap. He actually kind of jumped up and got skinny there, and the ball went past him. It went in front of him, but they brought him across. So now what you have, and then they ran just a lead play. So you got this. These guys had a double team where this guy came off and blocked back, and then they brought this the motion guy up in the hole, and then they pulled a guard and brought him over. So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy leads right here. You got 7 guys on one side of the center, and at the point of attack, they just overwhelmed it and the defense, and they ended up just like making a wall. You can see when in the freeze frame that they just built a wall of blockers, and then Lamar Jackson just followed him up in the hole and kind of cut it back a little bit. But even with that, they actually had a chance to stop that. And when the motion guy came across, you can see in the film KJ Wright motioning to Marquise Blair to, hey, come this way. You got to get on this side of the line of scrimmage. And even with that, actually, he still could have made a play and made a tackle. What happened was they had a double team here, and this tackle came off to seal that backside. And what happened is Marquise Blair came underneath the block, and he just pushed him by, and now there's just a huge gap right here. So if he would have came over the top, and that's what I say, sometimes I'll say he ran under a block. So instead of, everything's going this way, instead of going this way, which is underneath and really the wrong way, he should have gone over the top. Now, I don't want to put too much on Marquise Blair. He's playing strong safety. He's a rookie. Here's what I would say about this kid. I think you're going to see a lot more of him going forward. He's a hammer, and that's what they need on their defense right now. They're missing that Cam Chancellor type of player. And, he came up and played the run here, and really that's not, his territory, playing inside the tackle box. But, if he would have just came over the top, he probably could have made a tackle on Lamar Jackson at some point. But I thought that more than anything, the Ravens did just a really good job of play design. And, you'll probably see this down the road, down on the goal line from teams, because it's a copycat league. And they just overwhelmed the Seahawks defense at the point of attack.